based on vanilla. His name is a play on pure vanilla extract. Though a pure vanilla is more based on vanilla as a general dessert flavor rather than vanilla extract itself. The pure thing might represent he is kind. And also, he does kind of like vanilla ice cream just flipped upside down. Look, his hat is even a freaking cone of ice cream. And his whole clothing and robes are themed after one. Heck, his soul gem looks like a ice cream being held. It looks like an ice cream cone inside of a cone. Isn't that something? Oh yeah, he's also tied strong ties to vanilla orchids, a type of flower which are used to create many vanilla flavored products. This can be seen as this orchid staff, vanilla orchid garden, and other references to the plant throughout his kingdom. Fittingly, orchids represent purity, reverence, hope, and dignity, just like Pure Vanilla himself. Additionally, Pure Vanilla Cookie's character takes likely inspiration from Abrahamic religions, such as Jesus Christ of Christianity. Similar to the prodigal son, Pure Vanilla Cookie stated from humble beginnings like a shepherd, adopting a kind demeanor and getting followers and eventually rising to power and becoming the head of a kingdom with noteworthy religious following. Pure Vanilla Cookie is known for his devotee to humility, altruism, and forgiving nature, as well as his borderline miraculous light-based healing abilities and him wielding the light element, all of which are commonly attributed to Jesus Christ and God himself. Pure Vanilla Cookie has a clear connection to sheep, embracing cotton candy sheep in a lot of his overworld animation, including a creamed sheep in the land of peace and healing. And he kind of looks like a sheep himself with the hair and everything. Jesus is famous for being associated with sheep shepherds, as well as having that spread the word of his coming and being present for the birth, as well as being titled the Lamb of God. Furthermore, sheep and lambs are strongly associated with Christianity in general, and this would make sense. I mean, the Pokemon Arceus kind of looks like a sheep. I mean, come on, he's based on Jesus. A significant part of Pure Vanilla Cookie's story is pilgrimage through a desert, leading to two landmarks noteworthy enough to have their own story mode episodes. Pilgrimages are very significant aspects of Abrahamic religion, as with the pilgrimage to Mecca in Islam, and pilgrimage to Jerusalem in Christianity and Judaism. The temptation of Christ from Christianity is also quite similar to Pure Vanilla Cookie's desert journey from his youth. The burst of light correlated with Pure Vanilla Cookie's magic, particularly this gotcha illustration, resembles common stylizations of the star Bethlehem, an icon largely tied to the nativity of Jesus. And orchids, a type of flower tied to Pure Vanilla Cookie, often symbolize Jesus. Some species feature speckled petals, which have been compared to the blood of Christ, and there is even a group of orchid species dubbed the crucifix orchids, genus Edidrum. The Vanilla Kingdom infrastructure, both in its story mode depiction and in the Land of Peace and Healing set, seems to take subtle inspiration from church architecture, featuring motifs characteristics to Christian chapels and European architecture in general. The kingdom features the approximate icon of Christian icons and the Star of David, marble-like structures depicting reverent, angelic figures, columned arcades amongst wide-open high-ceiling spaces, countless used of stained glass and more. The Vanilla Kingdom castle also contains a chapel, although it's unclear whether the Vanilla Kingdom followed any specific religion. And also, I think Pure Vanilla Cookie is also inspired by how God's eyes, how a angel's eyeballs. Yeah, I guess it kind of looks like as he's not seeing out his own eyes, not when they're closed, but he's seeing it out of this eyeball right here on his staff. Makes a lot of sense. Pretty simple stuff, but he's not the most, but pretty complex, but not as complex as the next ancient on our list. His awakened form might be inspired by the Pope. A Pope is a religious figure, and they do praise Jesus Christ himself. Yeah, and also takes a lot of heavenly inspiration with the white and gold. The white and gold is a common, very, very common color of Christianity and stuff like that. And this thing in his background, this little circle, it resembles a halo. A halo is very common in Christian mythology, and he just looks like a bishop, combined with him wielding the light element now, and him being a healer that could shoot beams of light Yeah, something that gods can apparently do in depictions of modern depictions of God. So yeah, shooting beams of light, pretty interesting, pretty metal stuff. I'm not gonna lie. Hollyberry, an iconic bright red or orange fruit produced by female holly shrubs and trees. Oh my god, guys! It's female, just like Hollyberry Cookie herself. Isn't that very hilarious? That's pretty clever. No, no, no. It's actually pretty smart. While hollyberries are commonly used for winter decorating, they are also highly toxic to human and animals. However, the bitter fruit serves as a crucial food source for over 20 birds and wildlife. And you can even see that this berry takes the shape of Hollyberry Cookie's tie right here on her dress. And also, her name might be inspired by the hollyberry flower, a small delicate blossom in the spring, typically April or June, that gives way to the iconic winter berries, which is where the hollyberry fruit is from. And Hollyberry Cookie is inspired by a warrior with a shield, as she fights with her shield and to blocking out attacks and bashing people's heads in with the shield she wields. Pretty simple stuff. But then we get into her awakened form. It appears to take inspiration from Athena, known as Minerva in Roman mythology, the goddess of war, wisdom, and strategy, as well as the arc of Greco-Roman mythology. This connection is exemplified by her awakened title being Aegis, was a weapon Athena is said to wielded and is often depicted as a shield. Furthermore, the term Aegis in modern times can be protected or defend by someone or something, much like how Hollyberry Cookie aims to protect those and be their shield. And also, she's a defense type. She is a very defensive cookie, pretty strong, and her being a steel type. Notably, Hollyberry Cookie's original Korean awakened title translates to that word directly translates into English as vanguard rather than aegis. A vanguard can be defined as the forefront of an action or movement or the troops moving at the head of an army, while the term aegis and vanguard only loosely connect that both in some ways refer to protecting others. Cookie Run Kingdom's localizers, mostly translators or just people in general, mostly translates change Hollyberry Cookie's awakened title in Aegis in order to take advantage of the Greco-Roman theming present in her design, and just with the whole eternal sugar, and the Garden of the Lights theming is themed after Roman stuff. It's pretty complex. Furthermore, Hollyberry Cookie Aegis seemingly draws inspiration from Norse mythology, specifically the legendary winged Valkyries, believed to be noble female warriors who served Odin and guided the souls of the fallen to Valhalla. This connection is reflected in the design of her helmet, which resembles the wing headgear popularized in the 19th century Greco-Roman inspired depictions of Valkyries, as well as the presence of feathered wings seen in her steel-bound guardian state, and cutscenes of her awakened variant. This particular inspiration stands as a stark contrast to Eternal Sugar Cookie's image of blissful heavenly angel, whereas Eternal Sugar desires only eternal rest for all. Hollyberry Cookie will always take up her shield and answer the call to righteous battle. Oh yeah, and Eternal Sugar is a squishy poison type that's an AoE attacker, while Hollyberry Cookie in her Aegis form is a physical steel type attacker who defends. Pretty simple stuff if you ask me. And also pretty good design. One of the better design Awakened Ancients next to Hollyberry, next to Awakened Pure Vanilla, and next to Awaken White Lily. Cookie is based on the Dark Knight trope from fantasy. He also takes, which they put negative, like as I said with the Silent Salt one, they wield the dark element and they can leave negative effects on other people once they put damage on them. For in this instances, Dark Cacao Cookie puts the injury effect, keeping from anyone from healing up to full health. And yeah, it's an easier way of killing people. Pretty simple stuff, and does with him. Oh, but Dark Cacao Cookie is a heroic example. But Dark Cacao Cookie does still remain some personality traits of Dark Knights in fantasy. One such instance is his personality. The bitter personality. He's quite serious and never knows how to laugh. Never laughs that much. Oh yeah. And another thing, but he's still a good guy deep down, which, yeah, is also kind of like Shadow the Hedgehog. I don't know. I want to do that. Not much to say about the base form, but the awakened form, though, has a lot to say. Lord appearance resembles the Korean Mayenbok, a set of ceremonial regalia reserved for kings and emperors in the Joseon. The pearlescent figure scattered about his outfit based on the decorative art of Naji Chiligi, and the mother of pearl is Inlandia, and on objects like hand mirrors, jewelry boxes, and subsequently lacquered. The the bulletary split nature of his outfit represents his mastery of the black and white dragons over dark and light, and over black and white as a whole. So he's basically a yin and yang, peaceful. And this can be resembled with Dark Cacao and Mystic Flower. Mystic Flower is a lot more peaceful, but she is also very dangerous, while Dark Cacao is a lot more hot-tempered, but is more distant and hot-tempered, but also being a good guy. Pretty good stuff. Pretty good. Nice symbolism there, Dev Sisters. I see what you did. Oh, and he's fighting darkness with darkness. Okay? I mean, but his darkness is good darkness, not bad darkness. Okay, it's not like the chaos element that Dark Enchantress Cookie and her other subordinates are wielding. No, 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 no. This is totally different. It actually is different. So let me stop with the sarcasm. Based on the ancient Egyptian deity Ra. Ra was important gods of ancient Egypt religion, identified primarily with the noonday sun. Ra ruled all parts of the created world, the sky, the earth, and the underworld. He was believed to have ruled the Pharaoh of ancient Egypt. He was the god of sun, order kings in the sky. And also, Ra is portrayed as a bird, a falcon, which is why Gold Cheese Cookie looks like a falcon herself. And also, Gold Cheese Cookie kind of resembles a phoenix. And phoenixes are definitely related to the sun. And phoenixes were inspired by birds inside of ancient Egypt. Makes a lot of sense. It's pretty interesting stuff. In 6-star form, resembles a horn sun disk, a headdress worn by Hathor and Isis, the ancient Egypt deities. Yeah, not much to say about Golden Cheese compared to it, but hopefully White Lily Cookie will definitely give me a lot more to talk about. Okay, so White Lily Cookie takes inspiration from a white lily. Was that any really is that really a surprise? Okay, with the petals shaped throughout her hair. I mean, her hair really looks like a flower. Looks like like the flower itself. Her eyes are red, just like the thing inside the flower. She's holding a white flower as her. Come on, like it's pretty obvious. Like if you don't know that by just looking at her, I don't know what to tell you. Also, her staff resembles a kawa lily, and the end of her hair braid may be a subtle nod to the lily of Valley. Interestingly, a number of the lilies used in her design are only lilies in name and not true lilies, such as the kawa lily of her staff. Represented, this may allude to White Lily Cookie's identity struggles regarding her worth as an ancient hero. White lilies are also representative of both rebirth and death, and as an extension, grief. This can relate to both the mystery of White Lily Cookie's birth and the tragedy lacing her backstory and history. White Lily Cookie may take inspiration from Saint Mary of Christianity. White Lily Cookie possesses the hallmark traits of a virgin archetype character, like outward purity, modesty, and devotion. I mean, she loses that modesty thing when she awakens, but we're not getting into that yet. All these qualities are likewise attributed symbolically to white lilies, which are often referred to as Madonna lilies. And additionally, her soul gem bears the shape of a fleur de lis. The fleur de lis, meaning flower of the lily, in French is closely associated with Christianity and Saint Mary in particular. White Lily Cookie's focus on repentance is something also related closely to Christian practices in general. Alternatively, White Lily Cookie could be an analogy to Eve of Adam and Eve, as her pursuit of forbidden knowledge regarding the truth of the world reflects Eve seeking the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Which is why she got tricked by Shadowmilk that one time, but we don't talk about that. Which is her encounter with Shadowmilk, kind of like Eve's encounter with the serpent of lies. By similarity of name and her eventual fate, she could also be analogous to Lilith. On the other hand, she could perhaps represent even Lucifer himself, adhering to the quite literal fall of once a highly loved and respected hero and the most hated of villains. White Lily Cookie's original name in the original Korean version of Kingdom is Seitu Lily Cookie, translate to Saint Lily Cookie in English. While no religions are known to have notable saint named Lily, there is a Saint Kateri of Christianity, who is known as the Lily of Mohawks. Saint Kateri is a patron saint of numerous aspects such as the environment, exiles, those without a family, and the pious, all which relate to White Lily Cookie. Even White Lily Cookie doesn't even have her own kingdom. I mean, she kind of does. She's in the fairy kingdom, but that's just put in there just to be put. I don't consider that her own. That's more of Elder Fairy's thing. The similarity is likely only a coincidence, but is a substantial enough to warrant nothing. But I guess that's the best we can do. A connection that is learned in Hall of Alignment and Tragedy at the Tower. Many notes in White Lily Cookie's design can be seen allusion to her connection of Dark Enchantress Cookie. This includes features such as her reddish eyes, white hair, and similar shaped language silhouette. Concept art showing the art of Cookie Run King reveals that White Lily Cookie visual similarities of Dark Enchantress Cookie were to be far more present, though they were toned down in her final design. And also, White Lily Cookie kind of resembles some white mages. She doesn't have magic, but she kind of does resemble I mean, I guess being a bomber is somewhat close to magic. I mean, they're both AoE attackers. Come on. Come on now. Let's not joke. Let's not prance around this. Okay, so Awaken White Lily Cookie's title of a Dawnbringer is used to describe someone as something that brings the dawn, signals the start of a new day, or ushers enlightenment and hope after a period of darkness, which is actually pretty accurate. White Lily Cookie does come in after the Dark Enchantress Cookie thing happening. She did come at the last second, and also it does contrast her with her beast counterpart, Silent Salt Cookie. Yeah, him being this Dark Knight, her being this white lady with AoE magic, bomber magic or something. It's pretty smart, actually. Yeah. Yeah. In mythology is the English translation of the Greek name Esophros, referring to the morning star, the planet Venus. So, could White Lily Cookie's awakened form be based on Venus? Who knows? Let's just look at the Venus goddess to get some inspiration. Okay, so Venus is an ancient Roman goddess of love, beauty, desire, sex, and fertility and victory. Okay, so White Lily Cookie does represent victory. I mean, she is objectively nice looking in this form. I mean, God, the Sims, man, I can't tell you. And no, and people, yeah, I guess she does look attractive to people. I don't know why y'all are attracted to a cookie. I don't know why. I'm not judging, alright? Like, us furries are no better, but, like, yeah, she's there. Okay. Also, the reason why White Lily Cookie is a bomber is because she does AoE damage. And is using a flower bud, which, I mean, I guess a flower blooming and exploding is kind of like a bomb going off. Yeah, and it does periodic damage, kind of like some bombs in real life. However, it's not really as simple as think, but you know, whatever. We'll just White Lily Cookie's is a grass bomber of freedom. That is based on the goddess of Venus. There we go. A lot said, and she still keeps her soul gem. I like this one. White Lily Cookie has to be my favorite ancient. I like it. Not because she's the last one, but mainly because of her design. I love this one. It is based on the iconic Disney villain Maleficent from Sleeping Beauty. Her general design in her normal form has the giant horns like Maleficent does, the giant evil cape that Maleficent has, and all that. Yeah. And she also kind of reminds me of Lilith from Diablo 4, especially in her witch form, as you're seeing right now. Yeah, she literally looks like a freaking demon. A demonic version of Maleficent, but just even more demonic. Like, you have the red slitted pupils, You got the hair, you got the horns, you got the evil dark magic she's wielding, all that stuff. And she kind of looks like a bat. She reminds me of a bat with those wings on her witch form. It kind of looks like she's getting ready to fly. I know it's a cape, but it looks like bat wings. And yeah, looks like Dark Enchantress Cookie's about to fly. Well, she doesn't really fly in the lore, but she does float, so I mean. Okay. And she is based on a witch, obviously. She's inspired by many witches, but that's not wearing the hat. Her costumes are, though, but not this version herself. She's also based on Lilith, the demon Lilith. Evil, corrupted version of Eve from Adam and Eve. Yeah, Eve became Lilith, and guess where that came from? Oh, and another thing as well. Dark Enchantress Cookie can be based on red velvet candy, I guess, is by various cakes of with dark syrup or some dark frosting and dark dough and stuff. But I don't know. That's just my thought. And yeah, that's about it.